This is the Angels Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Angels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well. Hello, Nation. Hello, hopefuls. And welcome back to the latest edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast, coming at you live, as always, after every single Angels game, right here live on the Locked On Angels YouTube channel, and after the fact, both on the channel and wherever the heck you get the Locked On Angels audio podcast feed. If you don't know who I am, what is going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area, spent 4 years covering UCLA sports with the Daily Bruin, and now in year 2 with the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Our team is the Angels, and somehow, some way, the Angels complete a series sweep, or it's not, gosh, I wish it was a sweep. Oh my goodness. A series split. Somehow, some way, they complete a series split against these Mariners with a nice, impressive 4-1 victory here on a Sunday day game. I mean, so many miracles in this one. The Angels win on a Sunday, they win a day game, they win at home, and they outduel Logan Gilbert with Kyle Hendricks in a pretty impressive, again, 4-1 win here on Sunday. Before we jump into this one, shout out, as always, to everybody in here. Vinny is about to lose his mind, and don't worry, Vinny, we're going to get right to what you are referencing, but shout out to Vinny, Mahoko, Evan, David, Larry, JCH, Jeff, Nathan, Fudd Alex, all you guys, Saul, all of you guys, as always, appreciate everybody in here. And without further ado, let's get to it, because otherwise Vinny might lose it, but also we have to. It's the story of the day.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Mike Trout reaches 1,000 career RBIs, and he does it in style. He does it in grand fashion, because he does it on a very important, by the way, home run in the 4-run fifth inning for the Halos. Of course, all 4 of our runs coming on that inning, and so many reasons why this was just a perfect way for him to do it. First and foremost, congratulations. And I want Angels fans, as much as we have been critical of him this year and in years past recently, can we just always remember to take a moment and say, thank you, Mike Trout, because it is already brutal enough being a fan of this team, right? It already is. And I think people forget or underestimate how even more brutal it would be if we didn't have this guy, right? Mike Trout, for years and years and years, has always given us hope. He's given us leadership. He's given us greatness. He's been the face of this team, and he's done it with class his whole career. And he deserves all the praise, all the credit for a really impressive milestone. So, of course, first and foremost, congrats to him, and congrats to us for being able to witness it. 1,000 career RBIs for Mike Trout. No matter how he did it, that would be incredible. But the way he did it makes it that much better, because it comes at a time when he is struggling, right? We talk about the on-base percentage being great because of the walks. We talk about how the OPS is still pretty decent because of the walks and the occasional home run. But let's not forget, this guy, Mike Trout, in recent games and recent weeks, he's not been great when it comes to getting base hits, right? He has not been. In his last 7 games, the guy is hitting 192. 192. Just 5 hits. But that is another reason why today, the way he did it, with it not being on a sac fly or something, for it to come on a 2-run shot, that meant something, by the way. I mean, if you have to have me predict how it would have happened, I would have said, oh, he'll hit a solo shot or he'll have a sac fly when it's like 9-1 and we're losing or something. But no, it comes in a huge inning in a huge win. So very fitting that Mike Trout not only accomplishes this feat at home, that's another great thing, is that he did it at home, but to do it at home in a win on a Sunday day game via the home run. It was perfect. It really was. So absolutely love to see that. It's his 19th of the year. It came on a fastball, which is another great thing. Feels like he's been afraid of swinging at fastballs in the zone lately, always going for the walk. And there was more talk this morning about him not feeling healthy and all this stuff. But man, it's great. Off a great pitcher too, and Logan Gilbert to hit a 96-mile-an-hour fastball to center field. He hit it 443 feet too, an absolute tank. 111 off the bat. So for so many reasons, just chef's kiss. It was a perfect way for him to do it. So once again, congratulations and shout out to Mike Trout, 1,000 career RBIs. And it wasn't his only hit of the game as well. 2 for 4 for Mike Trout with the 2 RBIs. He does still strike out 2 times, but he was very impressive. And if it wasn't for another performance that we'll get to in a second, he would be your player of the game. I'm sorry, Vinny. He's not the player of the game, but he was great. And congratulations to Mike Trout. Of course, all of the runs coming in that 4th inning. And that's why, in addition to it being the inning we talk about Mike Trout, it's also
time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Of course, it's also the turning point because 0-0 going into the bottom of the 5th inning, both offenses doing essentially nothing. The Angels with a 1-2-3 first, a 1-2-3 second, a 1-2-3 third. They have a couple base runners via a Sean Will single and a Taylor Ward Trout in the 4th. But we're going into the 5th inning, and there's really been nothing on either side. And then chaos ensues. Let's be honest. Travis d'Arnaud with a leadoff walk. Wild pitch gets him to second. Rengifo then walks, so it's first and second. Then Gustavo Campero, fortunate for us, he gets hit by a pitch because, let's be honest, I don't expect him to get a base hit. And just like that, the bases are juiced for Kevin Newman with nobody out. And you know how upset I would have been if we didn't manage to score a couple runs in this inning. And thank goodness we did. You heard me rant yesterday about the lack of productive outs. Kevin Newman does get the productive out, able to beat out the throw at first and get the run on the ground ball. That made it 1-0. Then Zach Neto, actually before that, there's a wild pitch that makes it 2-0 as Rengifo is able to score. And it was very surprising because Logan Gilbert was pretty darn good in this ball game, but he just completely lost it in this inning. I mean, think about it. 3 walks in a row, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. A wild pitch starts it, and then another wild pitch scores a run. So he really fell all over the place. And I had a feeling after that Neto fly out made it 2 outs that was all we were going to get. I'm like, we're only going to get the 2 runs, gifted really both of them by Gilbert. But no, again, Mike Trout comes through with the 2 RBI shot that once again made it 4-0. Obviously, that inning, the turning point, because it goes from 0-0 to 4-0. And I was scared that Kyle Hendricks was not going to get the run support he deserved to get the win today. But fortunately, he did. It allowed him to have a calm, easy 6th inning, gave him an opportunity to come out in the 7th. And while that didn't go well, still, him getting deep into the ball game, having a lead, it was absolutely crucial. So again, huge 5th inning for the Angels, 4 runs. Big shout out to Sean Will, who had a double in that inning that didn't matter, but still, he was 2 for 4 today. The average up to 282 for Nolan Seanwell, by far the best on the team. Neto's at 273, and then there's no one in the lineup today over 240, guys. Rengifo at exactly 240. So huge shout out again to Seanwell for continuing to be so consistent. And of course, Mike Trout came through with the 2-run shot. We're going to take our break. When we come back, we have to talk about Kyle Hendricks because he was phenomenal. We'll do that. We'll also talk about the upcoming series, of course, against the Rangers, the trade deadline on Thursday. We'll do all of that, and I'll react to your comments after our break here on a victory edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast. I'll be right back. Now, on this Sunday, this victory Sunday, oh man, it feels so great to say that. Today's show is brought to you by Monarch Money. If you ever wish managing your money felt easier with Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building your wealth. Now, I've been very transparent with you guys. I've had quite a lot of big purchases and planning lately. I just bought a freaking expensive used Honda, but I love it. That was quite a big purchase. And I'm also probably moving apartments soon. So not really a purchase there. It's just from one amount of rent to a similar amount of rent, but still a lot of money things happening, a lot of big changes happening with me. And I use Monarch Money to help plan it all out. So you can take control of your finances with Monarch Money like I do by using code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Think about that. That's huge. Half off for the entire year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. And today's show is also brought to you once again by our new wonderful sponsor, Game Day Hue. Man, Game Day Hue, it hits the mark. You've been seeing John sporting the hat on the Daily Show. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or here's the biggest thing, anywhere in between, right? Sometimes maybe you're going to a decently nice outdoor setting and maybe you don't want a logo on, but you still want to rep your team's colors. Well, guess what? Game Day Hue, they're going to make sure you get the exact color for your Angels or for any of your other favorite teams. And it's not just the hats. I love their split shade gloves. They're made for the golf course, the perfect gift for the fan who has everything else, right? Like even if you've got a fan that already has a Game Day Hue hat or already has a bunch of Angels gear, I bet you they don't have beautiful red and white or red and navy blue golf gloves to sport the Angels on the golf course. So right now you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15. Back here live on a victory edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast. Everyone's in here asking me about my darn Honda all of a sudden. I got, and you're not going to know what it is because it's pretty rare. I got a Honda Insight, and I don't know if you've heard of that, but it really is just a Civic hybrid. The fun fact is it's a 2020. Back then, they called it an Insight because they wanted to make it sound cool and special that it was its own car. But it's really a combo of a Civic, an Accord, and a hybrid all in one. And I promise, it's a lot cooler than it sounds. I absolutely love it. It's not the one that's got the weird thing by the tires. It just looks like a normal Accord from the back. Looks like an Accord from the front. Looks like kind of a Civic on the back. And it's a hybrid. It's fantastic. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter or something so you guys can see it. But I'm loving it. And I'm 23, so I'm going to make some mods. Going to tweak the logos a bit, maybe add some other decals or stuff like that. So I'll give you a final product pretty soon. But enough about that. Let's jump into this fantastic performance from Kyle Hendricks on this victory Sunday.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
As you see here, I joke. Kyle Hendricks outduels Gilbert as we all expected. Of course, that's a joke because Logan Gilbert was certainly the guy you expected to come in and mow through the lineup. And let's be honest, he was still pretty darn good. Gives up just 3 hits. But unfortunately for him, like we said, he loses it with some walks, with some hit by pitches, with some wild pitches. So despite just 3 hits and 7 strikeouts, we're able to steal 4 earned runs off of him all in that bottom of the 5th inning. Kyle Hendricks, well, he was just downright fantastic. Goes 6 innings, just 2 hits, just 1 earned run. And here's the biggest stat of them all that I love. Just 1 walk. He only has 3 strikeouts. The defense actually not only was average, it was above average today, which was a great sign to see. A couple great plays by a couple Angels in the field today, but only 3 strikeouts, but only 1 walk. And if you missed the game, it was really a shutout. He comes in the 7th, and thank goodness that Ray Montgomery does what any competent manager would do, which is, hey, he's been absolutely dealing. He's not at that many pitches. You better let him come out in the 7th inning. And yes, he comes out, immediately gives up a home run to Kyle Raleigh. And, the good thing is it's the 7th inning. If it was the 6th or something and this happens, I would say you still leave him in. He just had 1 bad pitch. But it's the 7th. I get it. Kyle Hendricks has not made it very deep in many starts at all. He's already gotten you 6 innings. And now it's a 3-run ball game. It's close. It's a big game. You need to win this game. So I felt like it was the logical time to take him out. You let him come in, give him the opportunity, right? He takes him out at the right time. Detmers comes in, has a 1-2-3 appearance in the 7th. Brock Burke comes in, and there's some eventfulness, including a Nolan Shawnuel headfirst dive into first base. But fortunately, it's a scoreless 8th, And then, of course, Kenley Jansen with a beautiful 1-2-3 save in the 9th. But again, Kyle Hendricks was phenomenal, and it was just so nice that he didn't need to have a bunch of strikeouts in order to do it. Of course, again, he got a lot of help. If you missed it in the top of the sixth, J.P. Crawford should have had a home run, 401 feet, 103 off the bat on a first pitch sinker. He crushed it, but Joe Adell makes a leaping Superman catch at the wall, J-Rod-esque. I mean, he noticed how he didn't lie about catching it, goes up, makes the play, steals a home run at that point. Huge part of the game, right? Because the Angels go up 4-0. And imagine if that immediately gets out, then I don't know, maybe Montgomery pulls Hendricks there, or maybe Hendricks stays in the game and falls apart. Who knows? Huge play by Joe Adell, keeps it scoreless, gets Hendricks through the sixth inning. And it was a great start for him. So you got to give him his credit. Don't think he's going to be a trade deadline candidate or anything like that. But hey, it doesn't hurt to have a guy that's not a part of your future perform well with the deadline just a few days away. Maybe a team is delirious and feels like giving up $5 for him. But love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Huge shout out to Kyle Hendricks. And I mean, think about it. This is a great rotation for the Mariners, and you won 2 games. I mean, again, it's crazy that you lost the one game you expect to win, where you have your ace against their 5. You somehow lose that game, but then Soriano outpitches Wu, or they really pitched the same, and you got the Neto bobblehead walk-off win, and then somehow Hendricks does outpitch Gilbert. So you'll take the series sweep in the sense that this is a good series sweep in any other context. It's just that, unfortunately, you come into this series and you come into this homestand needing more than a series sweep or split, in order to justify being a neutral team or a buyer at the deadline. But still, at the end of the day, deadline aside, it's a solid series. You take 2 against a good Mariners team that also just went and acquired Josh Naylor. They're trying to make a push. I think they're going to go get 1 or 2 more guys. Apparently, ownership gave the Mariners the green light to spend a little bit more. This is a team that comes into the ball game 7 games over 500, while we are 5 games under 500. So pretty impressive series split. We'll absolutely take it. And, you know, I think it's kind of gone ideal this series in terms of if you're like myself who thinks there's no way this team should be buying at the deadline. I think it went pretty well, right? If this team goes 3-1, maybe they get delusional and think about staying neutral at the deadline. If they go 1-3, then maybe, it's just depressing, right? And they sell, but it's depressing. I think now they're going to sell either way while you still split the series and you still keep yourself in some sort of AL wildcard race, while also signaling to your general manager and your ownership that you're not an elite team. And I'm okay with that. I really, really am. We will take the win. We'll take the series split. And really, shout out to Kyle Hendricks. Shout out to Mike Trout. 2 great performances from both of them. And Nolan Schanuel as well. The final box score, rarely are the Angels going to win a game where Zach Neto goes 0 for 4 in the leadoff spot, but we did. Trout was 2 for 4 again with the 2 RBI shot. Schanuel 2 for 4 had that double as well. He's got 20 doubles on the year. Let's not forget about that. Taylor Ward, unfortunately, did not have a hit today as we're, again, trying to maximize his trade value, but he did get on base twice via the walk. And honestly, the OBP is going to go up after this game. You love to see that. The OPS is just under 800. You love to see that as well. It really is crazy that Trout by far has the best OPS on this team. Neto down to 787, Schanuel down to 772, Adell down to 768, and even Taylor Ward is under 800. Mike Trout all the way up there at 831 on the OPS, but which is funny. It really is. But we'll take the couple of walks from Taylor Ward. Joe Adell, really bad game at the plate. The hat trick, 3 strikeouts, didn't get a hit, 0 for 4, but he made up for it with that series or that home run robbing catch. Darno, 0 for 2, but he does get on via the walk and does score a big run. Rengifo, 0 for 2, but he does have a walk and scores a run as well. Campero got drilled, didn't really do anything else outside of that. And then Newman didn't have a hit, but he got on, he got an RBI and a run himself on that ground out there. And also, he was pretty good defensively as well. So we will take this performance. It's a good team performance. Of course, you only had 4 hits, so it's not like you got great at-bats or anything like that from your Angels team, but you had a couple guys come through, and most importantly, your biggest weakness has been your pitching, and it was phenomenal today, so we will take that. Trout gets 1,000 RBIs. The pitching looks great. Taylor Ward doesn't hurt his trade value. Certainly a win today, and certainly a decent series for our Angels. But with all that being said, we're going to wrap this one up. Shout out to everybody in here. It's still pretty early on this Sunday. I know the weekend is almost done, but make sure you enjoy it. I'll tell you, it is beautiful, at least where I am in West LA today. I was in Santa Monica this morning. Oh, it was beautiful. I most likely am moving to Santa Monica. So expect this background to maybe in about 30 to 35 days look a little different. We're going to see. But yes, it's beautiful. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's going to be a lot easier to enjoy it because our Angels won. And I will see you tomorrow for the final big time stretch before this trade deadline. The Texas Rangers coming to town. 3-game series, all 3 games at 6:38 first pitch. So expect me around 9:15, 9:30, both tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then again, a reminder, I will be live on Thursday, midday, with John, one half of the Super Halo Bros, to break down what's going to happen on this trade deadline and what does end up happening at this trade deadline. So make sure you guys join for that. But there'll be plenty of content before that. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Angels win, baby. Go celebrate it. And I'll see you back here tomorrow night. Take care. Have a good one.